And this is Bharat here again, and today we are going to talk about something hypothetical topic, and the topic is wormhole. Basically, what is wormhole, how they really form, and how they affect our universe or space-time, all of these things. So before we start, we talk about wormholes. Let me introduce you with again the dimensions. So what are the dimension and how wormhole affect the space-time dimension and allow us to travel somewhere else in our universe. So, what is basically dimensions? Actually, we are living in a three-dimensional world. This world is three-dimensional, and we have three axes X, Y, Z, as we read on books. So, this world, in this world we are living, this world is three-dimensional. And if something possible like wormhole, that wormhole will come from the fourth dimension. And it is not easy to understand the fourth dimension for us because we are the three-dimension creature. To make you more understand about this, we do a simple experiment. So I will take a paper, a plain paper, and of course you have seen many experiments and many theories and many articles about this, in which they say if this is a plain paper, it's a universe, and we bend it like this. So between these 2 points, a wormhole has been created, and we can travel through this. So what is actually is? So we consider this is a universe and two-dimensional universe. This paper has a length and has a width but no thickness. So this is a two-dimensional space or two-dimensional universe, and we are living in it. So what gonna happen if this is a two-dimensional world? So it will look like this. These 4 lines can create a room on a two-dimensional world. Suppose this is a piece of infinite universe. Universe is an infinite paper sheet, and we take a part of it. This box create a square or a rectangle, can create a room. So if something live here, will have in shape of point. This point can move around this room and can enter this room only through this way. This tiny gap between lines, this is the gate of room. This is the gate. So this point can go enter and come outside, but it cannot cross the lines because these all creatures are two-dimensional. For a line is like wall for them. We cannot cross the wall because of its height, and if the wall is less than height, we can cross it, but we face the height of wall. We face the dimension, the third dimension, the height. We are moving on the plane and this side and this side, but if we want to cross a wall, we have to face the height. It could be little, it could be more, but we have to face it. Even if it is line create thickness. So this is the three-dimensional world. But if it's two-dimension, it can only length and width. It cannot have height, even the minimum height. Even this paper will not have any height, only the length and breadth. So what we will do with this? This thing can create a wormhole. I mean this paper. So what we are gonna do? Suppose this is a room, but we have a bigger room, something like this. A bigger room. So point A and point B. Now what will happen if a point want to move from point A to point B? It have to travel all along this distance. But if we bend it, it can go through this distance. But will this point will really make this distance? And this point can see this distance, or this point can travel this distance. Now assume again that this is square room and this is the point who live inside it. And this paper brings to a third dimensional or three-dimensional world. So how the people of three-dimensional world will see? They will see this like a paper. And if something go from this side to this room, suppose the point is inside the room, and something, if this paper comes to a 3D world and something enters from the upside, because for this door, this room is closed from all sides, only this door is open. This room is closed. There is no upside, there is no downside for a two-dimensional world. The point cannot move his head up or down. It can only see in one axis, or it is seeing the length along the length, or it's seeing along the width, but no up down. So if something come from upside, it will look like it's just magical, just coming from the air. Same thing happens with us. If something comes from the 4 dimension, we are 3D creature. We will not able to see from where it is coming. We will just see it is here or it is not here. Same thing. So if this paper is a universe and we bend it, this will create a 3-dimensional structure. This is a 2-dimensional structure and this is a 3-dimensional structure. So point A want to go to point B, and if I bend it like this point have to go from here to here. And if this point go from here to here, it have to cross the 3rd dimension, which is not possible for this paper, this point, because this point is living in 2 dimensions. So it have to create any way to travel through the 3rd dimension. Same thing comes with us. If we want to create a wormhole, if we find a wormhole, we will go through the 4th dimension, because something which is in 3 dimension or 2 dimension can be bent into the next dimension. Suppose this is a paper of 2 dimension, but if we bend it, it creates a 3-dimensional shape. So same thing like this. If we bend a 3rd-dimensional object, so it will create 4 dimension, but not a simple bend. For now, this paper we are assuming a 2-dimensional, but it is actually 3rd dimension. We are bending it in 3rd dimension in a 3rd-dimension world. Don't get confused with it. This is creating a 3-dimensional object. This is still 3-dimensional, still 3-dimensional, but this is a bending something different. And what different? Suppose this paper is universe again, and we have 2 possibilities. It has a limitless or infinite sheet of paper which creates the no boundary of universe, and it is a limited paper. So if it is a limited paper and it is a limited, it represents a limited universe, and if I bound this, it needs extra space. This is the paper, limited universe having a limited space, whichever it is occupies. But if I bend it, it have to cross something other which is out of its boundary. Same thing happen with our universe. If it is boundaryless, if it is infinite, and we want to bend it, how we will bend it? We cannot bend anything inside itself. So if we want to bend the universe, so that's the point, create the space fabric or space time. Our space is more like a sponge, not more like a paper. It is a sponge. And suppose there is a big sponge, very big cube or cuboid of a sponge, and you are inside it, and you are pulling everything from towards you. So how will a sponge look like outside? It will looks like a bending. You take a sponge and push it with your fingers, so you make some curves both sides. But suppose if it is a cube and you are squeezing it from all sides, or you are inside and pulling it from every side, so you are squeezing it or you are curving it from outside, from everywhere. So wormhole do this. This possibility of wormholes allows us to create these curves. Which curves? Create bigger curve, or you can say the whole type curve. You can assume this with the black hole. Black holes are most massive objects in our universe, and they create a lot of gravity. These gravity pulls all space fabric, all space time towards themselves from its surroundings. So when they pulls everything from them sides, they create curves, huge curves, something like this. But they also create from all sides, not from 2 sides. They create from all 3 sides. So the possibility is get they create those curves. Those curves can create the wormholes. Those wormholes which can allow us from one point to another point in space just with a few times and then a normal. So what was the point here? A point, from this point want to go from A to B, so this need to travel this line. But if we bend it, it can go through this distance. But this distance is not easy for travel by point A, because this is the 3rd dimension for this point. Same with us, this will be the 4th dimension for us, and 4th dimension we have different things. Now we brings the time in it. What is the time? Time is a relative measurement. We can understand this by general relativity. So this is the relative. So if we want to travel through the universe or travel through any wormhole, we need infinite amount of time. Why we need infinite amount of time? This will be the very slow process according relative to Earth. If we get any wormhole, so it may be possible that till the time we cross the wormhole, the all human species would exist from the Earth. So it could be possible that 20,000, 50,000 years, 700 millions of years would pass on Earth and we just cross the wormhole, because the time would be very slow at wormhole. But it is possible the person, the astronaut who crossed the wormhole will get very low age, and it crossed in few hours, few minutes, few days, but relative to him, on the Earth, the time will be very fast. So that's the time matter, but the dimension matter with the things. If you watch some movies like Avengers and you see they open the hole in sky and comes from the other space, so wormhole would not be exactly like this. If a wormhole creates so near to Earth, it will suck the Earth, something like vacuum cleaner. So what happened, wherever wormhole will be created, it will be created like a big dump hole. Everything which will be near it, that will be stretched or pulls inside the wormhole. It will be not a normal thing. Something, if we take this paper as a universe or space fabric, so suppose if there are many things around this, there are many planets, stars and other system, and a black hole pulls it towards itself, so it will make something like this, a curve inside, so everything goes around this. So wormhole, the possibility of wormhole is possible in theoretically. For now, we never discovered till now any wormhole in space or somewhere else. But if something create like this, so this will be not so easy like Doctor Strange, just like the a two-dimension object bend into the three-dimension object and allows this point to travel from A to B, just like by this short distance, but this short distance is beyond the limit of point A. So if I am in this room, this is closed from all six sides, 4 walls, floor and roof, but if somewhere is 4-dimensional world, someone can enter this room even without entering through the gates or walls. There are many faces could be open this room. Even I can see this is closed because I cannot turn my head into the 4-dimension. Same like this point. This point cannot turn his head into the 3rd dimension because he is living in the 2-dimension world. We are living in the 3-dimension. I cannot see in the 4-dimension. If something comes from 4-dimension, it would be just appear here or just disappear. You can assume one more thing. If this is a room of 2-dimension and from the 3rd dimension I just throw some light from here, from torch, the room will get the light or not get the light. If this thing get the light from this opening, so the point who lives inside it will see his room is lit, but from where light is coming cannot see. Same thing will happen to us. If something comes from the 4th-dimension, we can see it when it comes to 3rd dimension, but we cannot able to see. We will not able to see from where it is coming. It will be just appear. So this would be the 4th dimension. And one more thing, if we found anything which comes just appear here, so this is the way of 4th dimension. But if I want to go from this direction, I cannot go because I am not able to travel in the 4th dimension. Same like this point. If I bend this universe, his universe like this, he will not able to travel this way until he found any way, any technology or any mathematical method to travel through this thing. He cannot. He still will move something like this. For this, bending will not change his mind because he don't know there is something upward. He cannot see upward. So if this is like this, he will still see it like a normal thing because he cannot feel 3rd dimension. He cannot go up, down. He will just go along the line. So it is possible that we are still in a wormhole or we have something bending which can allow us from here to there, but we cannot see it because we are unable to detect the 4th dimension. So I hope you understand what I want to say, and thanks for watching. If you like the video, please like the video and subscribe the channel. Thanks for watching.